Thanks for staying with us. So a teenage boy named Monday Ariyo has died after allegedly being flogged 164 times by a teacher at Obada Grammar School in Imeko, Afon local government area of Ogun State. According to a blogger on social media, the boy's teacher brought a dustbin to class and told the students not to break it. Ariyo then said, "Is it not our money they used to buy it?" The teacher reported him to the principal, who allegedly said he should be disciplined. The teacher then went ahead to flog him 164 times. Although the reports we're having, the updates we're having here, says that what happened was that the school had bought a new waste bin to the classroom. And then the teacher was saying, "Don't use it or don't break it, it is a new waste bin." The man now, the little boy now said, "It's not our money we used to buy it." And that's what happened. And that then he was reported to the principal, who approved his discipline, and then he was flogged. Unfortunately, according to the report, though, they said that the state's report says he was struck 24 times, but had to do frog jump 162 times. And the kid collapsed. The child collapsed, and then was taken to the hospital for 10 days and eventually died on Friday. Now, to give us an update on this is the SP Omolola Odutola. She's the PPRO Ogun State Police Command. Welcome to the show, madam.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. So we have this story on social media. A blogger obviously posted this, and we're interested because obviously we've had cases where children have been beaten to death in the past years, and this caught our attention. Could you give us an update on the story so far?
Thank you very much, Mariah. Thank you for having me. So on the 25th, precisely, of October 2024, we received an information from the divisional police officer of Imeko, that is the DPO of Imeko, that a particular student of Obada Grammar School, a 17-year-old student, and Ariyo, is Ariyo.
Yes.
His name is Monday Ariyo. Was flogged by the class teacher. So immediately we got this information that he collapsed. The police swung into action. The police of Ogun State swung into action, and we started asking questions. Preliminary investigation revealed that the whole incident happened on the assembly ground. That a new waste basket was bought, and the principal was trying to inform the students on the assembly ground that a new waste bin has been bought. Why? And according to information reaching us, about 129 students on assembly ground, and someone from the assembly ground, one of the students from the assembly ground, altered an unguided statement and said, "Is it not the PTA's money, our parents' money, that was used in purchasing this particular waste basket?" So I think that utterance offended the principal, and she left the assembly ground into her office. Then other teachers followed her. According to the investigation, they met the principal crying in her office. So the other teachers came back to fish out who this student was. So that is where the error came. So it's not as if maybe the particular teacher changed only the disease. Ariyo, do you understand?
Yes. So the principal was crying. And because she was crying, the teacher now went to go and find the child that made the principal cry.
It was not, from our investigation right now, it was not even the disease that made the utterance. That is not our money that was used in purchasing it.
Oh, wow. So why was he now beaten?
He was not the only one that was beaten. So when informations are going around, we need to be very careful.
Okay.
So it's not as if it was single-handedly picked out and was being flogged or beaten.
Okay.
Excuse me. This actually happened on a morning assembly ground.
Okay. So a number of them were flogged. A number of them were flogged. Okay. And one person now.
One person that was flogged.
Okay, but
so when this particular incident happened, normally, like, we're all in school.
Yeah.
All of you go down on your
knees.
Down on the floor. You're going to have 1 minute frog jump.
Yeah.
So the teacher gave them frog jump and asked them to relax.
Okay, can I ask a follow-up question, please?
Yes, please.
Yes, so do you know how many strokes of the cane all of them were flogged for that incident?
To be sincere, from the preliminary investigation, we have to start asking the class teacher, Elijah. The name of the class teacher, the SS2A class teacher, is Hazajo
Elijah, yes.
Am I audible?
Yes,
you are.
The name of that class is Elijah Emmanuel.
Yes.
He has a Bachelor's of Arts
Okay.
and a Bachelor's of Arts French. So he came, all the one thing, him and one other teacher came all the, about 129 students on assembly ground.
Okay. The strokes of cane is what I wanted to find out. If all of them received the 24-24.
From him, 2 strokes of the cane. One from him and one from the other teacher.
So where did the 24 come from? We have a number, either 164 or 24. Where did that number come from?
When the information came to us, we had to go back with our preliminary investigation.
Okay.
So we now started asking. So we were told that it was 1 stroke of the cane from Hazajo Emmanuel, who is the SS2 art class teacher.
Okay.
And another stroke of cane from another teacher, which is 2 strokes of the cane.
Okay. And
but
then
you know, when every particular part will be treated on the merits of it. So we are still investigating this particular case, knowing how sensitive the case has become.
let me be sure that I understand you. So 189 students were flogged at the assembly ground, and both teachers were holding the cane and the flogging each other 1, 1, 1, 1. After which they now did frog jump. But I guess the frog jump that was exceeded is probably what caused this one's the deceased.
Frog jump was what we call a mini frog jump.
A mini frog jump.
A minute.
Yes.
A minute.
All you students, since you have not decided to produce who made that comment.
All of them had the frog jump.
For 1 minute.
Yes,
So you're now
them had
telling me, PPRO, that after that 1 minute frog jump, he now collapsed and was rushed to the hospital?
Morayo. Morayo, calm down. Don't be faster than your PPRO. You know, after the frog jump, which was about a minute frog jump.
Okay.
So all of them sat on the floor. All the students, again, it's not like Ariyo was an exception. All the students were sitting on the floor to recover from the frog jump. And that was at that point, Ariyo collapsed. So he was taken to the staff room. He was rushed to the staff room by other teachers.
Okay. Yes, that's what I said. So he was now rushed to the staff quarters, from there taken to the hospital.
Has an autopsy been conducted?
Of course, we are of course, the process of autopsy is in the process.
Okay.
Because one of the concerns people have is because of the there are different information coming out, and in most cases people would get emotional about the conversation once they know it is involving a minor, and that they are feeling like the minor was
emotional.
Yes,
exactly.
There's a lot of emotion outside. So in getting the facts, we would want to know that, okay, there's an independent autopsy being carried out, an inquiry to identify what specifically caused the death of this boy. Is it true that he died 10 days after the incident?
Yes, the initial incident took place on the 10th.
Okay.
You're talking about the first day this incident was reported, right?
Yes.
Okay, it was reported first on the 15th, but the police was not abreast of it until on the 25th.
Okay.
So my question is, in days to come, what information can the general public expect to get about this incident?
Okay, in days to come, we want the general public not to sell up emotions. And I can assure you that it has become an investigation of the state government. The Commissioner of Police, City Alamusa Abiodun, has also visited the disease, and delegates from the trade union and the Ministry of Education had also visited.
Could you confirm
the disease family?
Okay, could you confirm this is a public or private school?
No, it's a public school, please.
Public school.
And then they flog like that.
And they were told that they've already asked the teacher to step down.
Yeah, he's been suspended so far.
He's suspended already.
All right, PPR, I mean, I guess I'll let you go at this point because we just wanted to find out from you officially what is going on so that then we now discuss the other areas we think that concerns this case. But is there any other information you think is important that you give to us before we let you go?
Well, thank you very much, Ariyo. The only other information I would want to say is that we want members of the public, especially from Ogun State, to keep calm. That the commissioner of police is actually, abreast and on top of this very investigation.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, PPR.
My pleasure, please.
Thank you very much, PPR. We appreciate you. I mean, we're speaking to the PPR of Ogun State, and we like the fact that the police is handling this case. But let me come to you, ladies. It's not the first time we're hearing this kind of thing. Waste beam. Waste beam was brought to a school. It's now a means of the conversation to announce. Now we have a new waste bin. Like, I mean, that in itself is even irritating to know that it's such an important thing to get a waste bin in a public school that is worthy of announcement, such that you be telling the children, don't come and break this one, no. And they're wondering, isn't that
It took a whole lot of time before they could
point I'm saying that in itself, it's in itself the fact that you didn't have that in itself, it forms the mentality of don't break this. It's not such a precious item that you shouldn't break because it took us years to get it. That's number one. Number two, because according to the police, the principal went back to cry. How can I get the dustbin after I've maybe worked really with written letters, written petitions, begged them to give us the dustbin? We now get the letter. Somebody is now shouting from the crowd that it's not our parents' money. Now upset the principal. From the being upset, a teacher walks out. Who produced the person that said this thing to our teacher, to our principal who is crying? They refused to. They now beat all 189 students.
And ask them to frog jump
for 1 minute. After which this Monday, this young boy collapsed. It was from there, it was rushed. Ladies, let me see, till I come to you. Make you talk. Let me come to you, Chika.
Regardless of the perspectives of how we want to take this story and get the full length and breadth of the story, parents are bereaved right now. It's the worst thing that can happen to anybody. To lose their child to lose your child is one thing, and to lose your child in this manner for something as flimsy and as flippant as this, it is really sad. We forget that we were all children at some point in our lives. And I don't know, this is a very popular saying. Children say the darndest things. Like how old are these kids that we're talking about? Kids are prone to behave, and the duty of a teacher is almost like a parent, isn't it? It's just that you operate within the spheres of a school. But in your daily interactions with children, you know the nuances, the idiosyncrasies of children. You know how children are wired. You deal with children day in, day out, on a daily basis. And so you see things even worse than this. You see this, how you interact with these children is very important. I think that as each day passes, we're really losing our humanity as people.
Yeah.
It's all too easy to do things to other people's children. But when it's your own child, then the beast in you comes out. Yeah. This is really sad. And if I were the parent, I would not take this line low.
Exactly.
I would not take this line low for any reason whatsoever. And I really hope that they follow through with that autopsy, even though it is revealed that this child had underlying medical conditions before this thing happened, is no excuse.
Thank you very much for even taking us there, because back in the day, when they used to just flog children, they never cared about underlying medical conditions. So, your kids have different illnesses. Nobody cares. The teacher will just flog you. But in today's times, we are more aware. You can't just, that's why some schools don't choose not to beat, because they see that some children, you don't need this approach to discipline some children. So let me just get to jump, because if I let Busy jump in now, she'll scatter this table.
So I actually find it it's very challenging that this thing called poverty has many ways it plays out.
Yeah.
poverty plays out in many ways. The poverty of the mind, the poverty of the idea of lack that will make you be celebrating a dustbin, or how it will get to you that you don't get the acknowledgement for the fact that you were the one that struggled to get the dustbin, and it will make you feel bad. And then we decide to do a mass punishment because of dustbin. So like when you think about it, like the smallest thing that she's bringing out, like the way poverty plays out in little things. I also feel like there's a poverty in the reaction towards things. So I beat you out of the frustration of how, like, do you know how things are? They did not ask you how things are. Somebody in the auditorium just made jest. And that jest, you cannot receive the comedy because there's poverty in your spirit and in your soul. Suffer has happened to you. So you are not listening to anything. It's like when they say a child said, I don't want to eat again, and the parent starts screaming. And the child is wondering, I'm full, I don't want to eat again. It's not the food they are hearing, it's that you want to waste food. How much I bought the yam, how much I bought the stew. So there is a underground problem that we need to deal with. That's on one side. On the other side is the fact that I always tell people that when you fight, your intention might be to slap, and the person you slapped just received the slap and just collapsed and died.
That was the day.
So in your mind, it was a small slap. The PRO was saying it, and she laughed about it in a way that she does not understand how Nigerians are feeling. Like somebody just died, and you're saying, you don't understand. It was a 1-minute frog jump. I'm wondering. So? Someone died. Whether it was 1 minute, whether it was 2 strokes of cane or 1 stroke of cane, the point is something preceded the death of a boy. And the last thing that preceded the death of that boy was something that had to do with what they did in that school. Whether it was 2 stroke, 24 stroke, or a mini frog jump, or 100 frog jump, that somebody has died. Yeah. And it is not in any way a funny situation. And so it should be dealt with as that. People shouldn't get emotional about it. Yes, I understand, because sometimes we're not thinking about the situation anymore. We're just thinking about the loss of life. We're not even going to take the fact anymore when it comes out, because it seems like the fact has been twisted. We are hearing things that seem a bit funny. So that's why I said that it is extremely important for us to deal with the situation on ground, which is the beating that led to the death of someone. Yeah, simple. Then let's get the autopsy to find out, okay, maybe the beating did not lead to the death, or maybe there was already an existing condition, maybe the boy was not feeling fine, but something triggered it at every point in time. And that thing that triggered it must never happen again.
It has to be paid for. Yeah, I feel so sad right now. I'm just trying to, manage and look at it from another angle, and also we do not really have enough time. For you to be a teacher, you must be able to manage your emotions, because you're going to be dealing with delicate beings. We are talking about teenagers here who are still understanding their emotions. Their emotions can be anyhow. And the children should be allowed to be children. Children should be allowed to play. Children should be allowed to talk. Children should be allowed to express. So that comment has no reason to make any adult sit down and be crying. The dustbin that they bought is not your money. You did work and you bought dustbin for the school, and a child makes a comment. Why are you going to your office to cry? That means you cannot even manage your emotions. Why are you the principal of a school if that sort of flimsy statement can make you cry? It means that you are going through certain things that has nothing to do with the children. Obviously. And then another teacher, Vasilius, I want to show my principal that I love him pass. Well, that's okay. Who is that person that made our principal cry? Oh yeah, everybody collect cane. Please, we're talking about corporal punishments that should be removed from schools, because you do not know the baggages these children are coming with. We are in a system where a lot of people are not seeing food to eat. People are fragile. Healthcare is not there. A lot of things are happening against Nigerians, and then they bring their children into your care, and all you can do is because somebody made somebody cry. Why are you crying as an adult? So my child says something foolish in the house, and I sit down in the room and I start, he has spoken against me today. I've cooked food, and my son looked at me and said, the food is not delicious. When he was way younger, I should have smashed his head. But he was my child, I understood. And even in the school, as a classroom teacher, children will make a lot of comments. They don't mean the comments. Sometimes it comes across as a joke. They don't even understand the gravity of the comments. And even weighing this comment is nothing for you to get that upset and flog everybody in school. So please, we need to get those, whether the principal and the teachers, to pay for what has happened. That's on one hand. They need to pay for it.
For a life that has been lost?
I don't know. Maybe when they hold them, we'll find a way to just make them understand the consequences of what they have done.
I want us to touch on this issue of corporal punishment, because there's still that school of thought that a child is whole. A child cannot be whole without going through that process of the rod. You have to spank that child. That's the only way that we are all, how they say, look at us. See, we're not responsible adults. See, all of
not.
us,
We're
we went
deceiving
through,
ourselves.
saying
went
that.
through,
lying. Yes.
went through
That's why a
it.
human
lying
being
to ourselves.
can slap a delivery man.
Yes,
It's part
because
of the
we're not
corporal
saying
punishment.
that.
Yes.
It's part of the, we don't understand, it's the trauma.
Yeah.
The trauma of being punished.
Unresolved trauma.
And suddenly you now have power. You two, you are going to show
people that you
that
have
I
power.
have power. The teacher that beat up the child too grows up and say, I'm going to beat up the next child.
Yeah.
A recurring circle of trauma that has not served us or helped us.
how is it helping
we're
us?
not dealing with the situation. So if somebody actually said something bad, the fact that you're punishing everybody means that you're making that punishment out of emotion.
Yeah.
And as a
Frustration.
teacher, you should have the emotional intelligence, not to react from emotion, but from a place of maturity and knowledge. So why did they think this? Inform them. So my son looked at me and said, Mommy, your stomach is flabby. Why is your stomach so soft and flabby? And I said, I had you, and I had the twins. He said, but that was 8 years ago. So should I not take it personal? My stomach, he did not lie.
If you were
I
stepmother,
don't like
maybe
it.
you would have taken it
I
personal.
don't like it, but it's a statement. So we deal with the situation.
Yeah.
We don't lash out of emotion. Maybe we should actually take, corporal punishment can be valid for some people.
Should be
but
removed.
all our teachers should be taken through emotional intelligence class to
Corporal
understand how to
punishment
manage.
should be
And let me
removed.
just say this. Because
be
many
eradicated.
Nigerians are going through major frustration right
Yes.
now. Expensive living, lack of money, everything is choking people. If you don't know how to manage your emotion and you're in charge of children, you will kill plenty children.
Yes,
you know.
now.
You will kill plenty children.
Yes.
They need to learn how to control
We have
themselves.
to wrap up.
Please.
Besides checking for educational performance of teachers in terms of their certifications, I think that mental
Emotional
checks,
well-being
is
we should
important.
do mental checks for all caregivers, even in nannies, even in crèches, sorry.
yeah.
We need to
Even
do this.
husbands and wives said they need
Yes.
mental check.
Everybody needs to be checked.
In
And
this
that's
our
why-
bandit
right,
economy,
that's why
everybody's crazy.
You cannot say they should have corporal punishment because everybody's coming with their madness to their job.
The
So
lashing
if
out.
you have to discipline your child, you will burn them. Use your hand, discipline them. Because now you know where it dey pain them. Now you know say you no sleep for night, say it dey wrong temperature, but it dey pain them. You will know how to discipline.
Yeah.
Please, corporal punishment should be removed from schools. We don't need it. Go and train your own
That
children
is
at home.
all we can take on today's show. Really painful stories we've not taken today, but we really hope that we can follow up and make sure that with our heart go out to the families of Monday who died. May his soul rest in peace. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.